Right. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me, and hope everyone's still with me and not dozing off after that lunch. So first of all, I'd like to thank Mustafis and the organizing team for having me to be able to share some insights into some of the exciting work that we are doing around sustainable innovation. And hopefully there'll be something that most of you have not seen that you can, talk to us about afterwards. We're always looking for collaboration and how we can, scale things up and see profitable results at the end. So I'll go right into it. So as I mentioned, the topic that I'll be presenting is future opportunities in sustainable innovation, specifically around few areas in that scope. So to start things off, I'd like to set the context of the company that I represent. So my name is Buddhi, and I'm the Director for Sustainability and Innovation of PDS Limited. So PDS Limited, just a quick snapshot, again, just to set the context of how we approach sustainable innovation of a company of our scale. So we're a 1.4 billion company with offices around 22 countries and about 4,000 employees directly in our corporate offices and more than 6,000 when it comes to our factories as well. And we have 4 particular areas that we are focusing on in terms of business operations. Those are manufacturing, design-led sourcing, where we have end-to-end design, all the way up to manufacturing and delivery, then sourcing as a service, where we do sourcing for brands, and then more recently, we have also brands and licensing under us. So the reason, again, to set the context for how we are approaching innovation in this kind of a complex business model is what I want to kind of share with you. And the way that we've done this also just to kind of show the scale again and to show how we've approached this. So we have a partner network of over 600 factories across the globe. And what we've done in terms of innovation is taking profits and repurposing that profits into investments in the ways of a venture fund or a VC fund. So what we've set up is a $50 million fund purely from our profits that are coming from the business that I mentioned earlier, and we've started this fund maybe about 4.5 years ago. And to date, we've invested close to 20 million into over 65 different startups, and obviously by doing the math, you'll understand these are like minority stakes into the startups, but the idea is identifying the correct type of startups that promote innovation in the supply chain that we are currently in. So what that means is we are looking at these 5 areas of investments. However, for today's purpose, I believe the more important ones are going to be around material innovations, as well as recycling and post-consumer waste, take-backs and give-backs. So the post-consumer waste or recycling has been a topic that's been discussed throughout the day today. So we also have some ideas of how we are approaching that, and material innovation is definitely one area that we are focusing on as well. And similar to how we have our operations across the globe, investments into such startups in sustainable innovation and innovation overall have been also focused around the globe. So all, from America to Europe, Asia and Australia. The reason, again, to show this, to put context, is that we believe that investment needs to go into those who are subject matter experts and those who can do what they do best, rather than trying to in-house a lot of these things, putting a lot of capex behind it, opex behind it, and maybe seeing very minor results. We want to work with people who are completely focused on those efforts and promote their innovations throughout our platform with our brands and with our internal brands as well as the brands that we service. So as I mentioned, future opportunities in sustainable innovations. What I want to share with you is current opportunities. Why I say current is, I think when I've presented some of this work in the last year, 2 years in different forums, and at that point it was concept stage or proof of concept stage. And today I'm very happy to say that within the span of like 12 to 18 months, we have commercial ready products, materials, as well as commercially already working operations in terms of recycling facilities. So as I mentioned, I'll touch on 2 areas, given that I want to keep this a little focused around these particular topics. So number 1 is around low impact products, and then number 2 is on give-backs or take-back programs, reusing and upcycling. So let's start off with low-impact materials. And I'd like to share a small clip of something that we have launched just last month, and I'll explain about that a little bit in detail afterwards. think there's sound to this, guys.
Scene has resulted in irreversible damage to our Earth's climate and ecosystem. Climate change is real. The Anthropocene has resulted in irreversible damage to our Earth's climate and ecosystems, dramatically impacting humanity. It is estimated that the fashion and textiles industry is responsible for 4 to 8% of global greenhouse gas emissions. We need to do better. We love clothes. They are part of our daily lives, our identity. We cherish our finite resources, soil, water. We care about biodiversity. As a collective, we are committed to the challenge of reducing the footprint of materials and clothes. We believe that our actions can drive transformative change in the fashion ecosystem and a significant impact towards a regenerative future. Are we alchemists of present times? No, we are simply a platform of innovators, entrepreneurs, scientists, and creatives. We are thinkers and makers. How will we act on it? By strategically partnering across disciplines and the supply chain, by investing in our planet-centric technologies, regenerative and circular systems, biofabricated ingredients and materials. Innovation. Next-gen materials. Positive impact. Regenerative future. Our ongoing mission. Everloop.
So Everloop is a capsule collection of 6 next-gen materials that we've launched last month at the Premier Vision in Paris. And these 6 materials have been a combination of 6 different startups, as I mentioned earlier, that we had invested in through the PDS Ventures Fund and our sister company, Positive Materials, out of Portugal. And these materials are essentially providing these different alternative solutions for traditionally, impactful or high impactful, environmentally impactful materials. So just as a bullet point of what these materials are, so we have Amphico providing PAFS free Amphitex waterproof fabric, which is chemically much more compliant and better for the environment than your traditional waterproof fabrics that you have today. Packed with a leather-like material completely made out of natural collagen. Ponda, which has a BioPuff wadding, which goes into layers of products. Then BioFluff, which is a bio-based fur, as opposed to your traditional fur or fox fur. And Matera with regenerative cotton, and Nature Coating providing wood-based pigment for black pigment dyeing. So this is available today, produced today, and it is ready to be scaled up, and we see the potential of this having positive impact on material or low impact material. And that's something that I wanted to share that might spark interest of people who are in these particular areas of the industry to have conversations with us to see how we can incorporate this. Next one is the more interesting one, which has been running in our organization since 2021, and truly turning sustainability into profit, because this is always a conversation that has been debated throughout. How does sustainability turn into profit? So 2 specific programs that I want to talk to you about here. Again, companies that are part of our company, PDS. One is Yellow Octopus and the other one is Upcycle Labs. These are literally sister companies, facilities right next to each other. The 2 differences between the 2 companies is Yellow Octopus is focused around stock exits and take-back programs. What that means is manufacturers or brands who have leftover stock, we take that back, or if they have buyback programs. So currently we are running 2 of the largest buyback programs in UK with Primark and George. And we then use that as resales, or we funnel it towards Upcycle Labs, which is an upcycling program which turns fashion waste into products. So that's just an example of how that looks like. And the interesting thing is the patent pending technology that we use that not only can do recycling of fabrics, but quite a lot of materials that goes into the products, which is things like buttons, zippers, any other metal or wood products that come in part and parcel with the product. So the sorting becomes pretty negligent or unnecessary, and you can directly use that and convert that into a resin, and then that resin can be molded into moldable products, such as you see here, which is a home deco, or fittings that you see in like shops and stuff like that. And this is the facilities that we have. So this is something that I wanted to kind of touch on, which was discussed earlier in terms of having recycling at the source. So this is something we truly believe in. So we are working on post-consumer recycling, and our brands mostly are in the UK and European markets. So we've set up facilities in those regions, and these have been running since 2021 and 2022 respectively in Nottingham in UK and in Warsaw, Poland. And these facilities basically do what I mentioned earlier. So you get the post-consumer waste, whether it's buyback programs or stock overruns, and you sort that at the Yellow Octopus facility, and then you look at what are reusable programs, and then we resell that as pre-owned or pre-loved programs within our network of partners. And whatever cannot be reused, obviously there are certain garments cannot be used, that will go into the recycling and upcycling process. So it's truly a circular program that we are running, and again, something that we are scaling rapidly. And in the next few years, we are hoping to expand these facilities into the regions of Africa, India, the US, and working again on post-consumer recycling. So that's really something that we believe is today's opportunity for sustainable innovation in the form of materials as well as post-consumer buybacks and recycling and upcycling. So, just want to leave you with a few final notes in terms of the opportunity that is available today, and hopefully there's something new that you gain from that, and have conversations and have ideas that you might be willing to partner with us or partner with the companies that I mentioned here through PDS. And we truly believe that to scale, to see results of solutions, we have to scale, and for that we have to collaborate and work together. So that's really something that we are hoping that we can work on with everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much on enlightening on the issue of future